What's up, internet? My name is Captain African, and today we have to talk about South of Midnight. South of Midnight is an action-adventure game developed by Compulsion Games and published by Xbox Game Studios. This game is really fun and has a lot of style. It's not too complicated, but it offers a great story and world building. This is not a review, but my feelings on what I've played so far. Without further ado, let me explain why South of Midnight is lit.
Another medal too. We was fast as hell. Mine should be back by now.
Reason 1. The story. The story is pretty good. Hazel is an 18-year-old athlete who runs track and is attending college soon. There's a big hurricane hitting and the community is locking down. Hazel waits for her mother to return from work so that they can buckle down at the church as they do every year. When her mom, Lacey, returns, Hazel has an attitude and starts an argument with her. Hazel runs away from the house to check on some of her neighbors. While talking to Miss Pearl, Hazel sees her house fall off of the bricks into the bayou that is flooded with stormwater. Hazel freaks out because her mom was still in the house and she chases after the house. Hazel along the way realizes she is seeing strands in the air as well as random creatures in the distance. This is as much as I want to say without spoiling anything, honestly. The story goes way beyond that, but the last thing I can say is that Hazel is a weaver and she uses her powers to heal the wounds of mythical creatures and undo tangles in reality. The story is freaking fire, and from what I've played so far, I know that I will be hooked all the way through to the game's conclusion. Reason 2. The gameplay. The gameplay is great. This is more of a platformer than anything, honestly though. You can climb, parkour, and run on walls too. The platforming is smooth and precise. Nothing really feels off. The combat is not much, but I didn't even really expect as much as we got. Like, to be real with you, I didn't even expect the game to have combat. To be real with you. You have one combo, some spells, and you can combine those to do more damage. It's not too complicated, so it's easy for anyone to pick up and manage. It's not too difficult on normal, but if you aren't locking in, sometimes you may get the pause put on you. You're locking a little bit. There's a small skill tree. You can find collectibles and use points to upgrade your skills a bit, but like I said, don't expect anything extravagant. It's just enough to give you a reason to explore the cracks and crevices of the levels. The game is linear. This is a plus for me because there are way too many open world games to play. This game has a specified start and end, and I respect that. That being said, the game can sometimes be a bit clanky or janky, but I ain't gonna lie, I think that might just be my old PC. Like, I'm running on a i5 Skylake and a 1060, so to be real with you, I'm just happy to get more than 60 frames per second on medium. There's a lot of options to help optimize your game, and for those who don't like the stop motion, you can absolutely turn it off if you want to. The difficulty can also be customized, and you can even skip combat sections and platforming sections if you just want to see the story. So there's a lot there for you. And just to touch on it one more time, like I said, I went into this game thinking it was just a platformer. I didn't really look at much for the game other than like the few trailers I saw. I don't even remember seeing combat in it. But I mean, it gets the job done. I don't know why there are some people, I don't remember where, I think I was seeing this on Steam. People are like comparing this to a Souls game. This is not a Souls game in no way, shape, or form. I don't even know. Ain't nobody should even be throwing that terminology out there for this game. This is a platformer. Like, if you want to like compare it to like Jak and Daxter, like the OG Jak and Daxter or something like that, maybe, Recore or something like that, maybe. But like, it's not that type of game. It is a platformer with a large focus on story. I actually seen in the Steam forums as well, I believe. I think I seen somebody say something about like Uncharted, like trying to compare this to Uncharted. And I think you can kind of do that. It's story-driven platforming. Yeah. And reason 3 is the presentation. The art style is pristine. I love the allure of the South, as that's where I grew up. The Bayou has a special place in my heart, and to see a game quadruple down on everything that represents Southern Louisiana just hits home for me. The characters are voiced by people that actually live there, or at least it sounds that way. I mean, it could just be some really good actors, but those people sounded like they was from home. I hear the Cajun in a lot of their accents, and they even use the lingo to the T. When Hazel was talking to her mom, they captured so many sayings that my mom used to this day. Even the small town reminds me a lot of the small towns in the country where my dad lives. I used to visit there during the summers all the time, and for Christmas and things of that nature, right? Like lots of trees and swampy areas, bayous and marshes. There's even like little Easter egg that shows you like a crawfish mound. I thought that was cool. That's your one mini little spoiler for the day. Actually, I ain't gonna lie, I'm probably gonna spoil a little bit more, but not intentionally. I'm not spoiling it, just explaining, right? But like, to be real with you, they thinking about everything with this. Like they are hitting it, and the presentation is what drove me, to even want to try the game. And then when I turned the game on and I started to see all this stuff, I was like, oh yeah, this is the one for me. Reason number 4, it's the little stuff. And this brings me to the major plus of this game for me. It's the little stuff that they do that reminds me of home. And it may hit harder since I haven't lived there in about 10 years, but I digress. I have lived through a lot of hurricanes living in Louisiana, and there's literally a season for it every dang year. The hurricane scene captures a lot with a little. Yes, there is a natural disaster outside, and yes, we should probably prepare for the worst, but most people in the South are so used to it that they barely care. Also, everyone does not have the money to evacuate all the time, so most people just board up their windows and then have a generator ready in case the power goes out, if they have that. Nobody cared that much about the storm, and even Miss Pearl, she was cooking gizzards and helping Hazel with life problems with her mom. It's crazy, but that's really how it be. And Hazel was literally more worried about arguing with her mom than the fear of running outside in a storm. Craziness. And it really is the little stuff like that that makes the characters feel believable. And lastly, we have to talk about the slavery references. Crazy. I thought I was tripping when I seen the Ghost Weaver escorting runaways through the Underground Railroad. I wish I was a streaming channel because that would have been an amazing clip. There are multiple references that do not shy away from the reality of the South. Slavery was a big issue in the history of Louisiana, and the effects are still prevalent today. This game is one of the few to actually hit the marks without being preachy, so the go woke or go broke crowd can't even use it as ammo to try to push their narrative. The history of the South is the baseline for the world that is being presented. The woman's name is not Harriet Tubman, but it's clear that she is inspired by her actions. It's really cool. And I think that it's a great way to express the core powers of Hazel to show a prominent figure such as Miss Tubman as one of these powerful weavers of fate. And seriously, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting any type of stuff like that in it. So like I said, for them to really quadruple down on the the whole Southern Louisiana theme, A+ writing for me. They killing it. And last but not least, reason number 5, the price. South of Midnight is available on the Xbox Series S and X, Windows, and Steam. There's currently no PS5 or Nintendo Switch copy at the moment. This is not a super expensive game. It's $40 per copy, and I think that it's good for a game of this scale. You get what you pay for, and in my opinion, it's worth every penny. You can also get this game on Game Pass, so if you're skeptical, you can try it out for less than half the price. To be real with you, if you got the time, there's a lot of games out right now. I understand if you ain't got the time, but if you got the time and you just want to try something different, get the Game Pass, test it out, see if you like it, and then I say drop the 40 when you get the opportunity and support the devs. I think they own something with this. Good game.
What is all this racket?
Hey, Grandma?
Is that Hazel? You've gotten taller.
Final thoughts. This game is one of my favorites this year. I did not expect to like this game as much as I did, and I only have about 3 hours into the game at this moment. I love everything this game offers, and yes, it is not the deepest combat and not the best platforming, but I mean, that's not what the purpose of this game is. The game's purpose, from my perspective, was to deliver an engaging story with some fun gameplay loops to keep you occupied and give you a reason to keep playing. The transitions between chapters really keep you playing, and when it was time for me to stop my first playthrough, I only stopped because I had school the next day. And I stopped at like 1 in the morning, but I was tired, boy. Oh yeah, and you know I gotta bring it up. This game oozes black excellence, and I'm all for it. I respect them for having a female protagonist, a black woman female protagonist, and really fleshing out a actual character with an actual story, and not making her one-sided and one-dimensional. Like I said, A+. What do you think of South of Midnight? Does it look like a game you can enjoy? Let me know in the comment sections and we can have a conversation about it, For now, like, share, subscribe, stay tuned. Captain out.